I am Morgan Davenport, and how does the trend of positive cases correlate with the amount of tests being administered? First, I want to take a look at the trend of positive cases at a high level. Since March 1st, the trend has been steadily going up. As you can see, on March 1st, there were only 88,000 cases worldwide. And on 8/7, there were 19 million positive coronavirus cases. This is not total cases, this is number of positive tests and cases that day. And as you can see, the trend has been steadily on the rise. In this slide, I wanted to take another viewpoint of the positive cases and compare the countries to each other. As you can see, the United States is leading with the total positive coronavirus cases at almost 280 million, with Brazil following not a close second at 120 million. And this data is all of the positive cases since March 1st. Now I want to focus on just the USA. As you can see, this trend is very similar to the trend worldwide. On March 2nd, the USA only had 88 positive coronavirus cases. But on 8/7, it had 4.9 million. And as you can see, it has steadily been going up over the last few months. And now I just wanted to do another viewpoint by comparing the different states. And as you can see, New York has had the most positive cases since March 1st at 55 million. And now I want to look at how many tests have been given in the United States. And does testing have a correlation with the positive trend? Are we trending up because we're just testing more people? And that is what I wanted to look at. In this, the amount of tests administered has been steadily going up since March 1st. Now this chart is showing the percent of positive cases in relation to the people tested. On March 1st, 42% of the people tested for coronavirus tested positive. But as we continued on, the more people tested, the less percent of positive tests showed up. So we are technically trending down. As of August 8th, only 8% of people tested positive for coronavirus. This shows a slightly different story when looking at the percent of people testing positive instead of just looking at the positive cases. Now I want to look at the different states and how they rank with each other. And I want to specifically look at Tennessee. In this slide, New York has had the most coronavirus cases of all states, with a total of 44 million positive cases. In this slide, Tennessee ranks 17th, with 4.8 million positive cases. This slide shows how many people have been tested within each state. California has tested the most people with 387 million tests, and Tennessee ranks 11th. with 80 million people being tested within the state. This is showing the percentages, the total percent of people testing positive out of the total amount of people that were tested in each state. Arizona is now ranked number 1 with 15% of the people being testing positive, even though in the earlier slide, Arizona was all the way down here with only 47 million tests, and all the way here with only 7.1 or 0.4 million positive cases. So we were looking at Tennessee, and Tennessee ranked fairly high in positive cases and the amount of people they've tested. But when looking at the percentage, Tennessee is 36th with only 6% of people testing positive for coronavirus. So is Tennessee's COVID-19 issue getting worse, or are they just testing more people compared to other states? I don't know if I can answer that question, as the amount of cases has been on the rise, but were those cases there, they just weren't being tested? I don't know. The way that data is presented can greatly change the story. When looking at this, it looks like the United States has a terrible coronavirus issue, with it continually going up, and it has not started going down yet. But were we just as bad earlier? We just weren't testing and weren't aware? Because once you look here, we are on a decline with the chances of somebody testing positive going down. I took the data from the Startup Workbook and combined it with data found on the Tableau Coronavirus Resources by Sam Pretty. In his data, he showed the percentages and the amount of people tested, which I combined with the positive cases given in the data on the Startup Workbook data. Thank you.